Tropic Falls is the best theme park in Alabama. This is part of the broader Owa complex. This park includes an outdoor amusement park with a large package of Zamperla rides and an impressive indoor water park with some thrilling slides. This video will be an in-depth review and guide of this park, sharing everything you need to know if you want to visit. Owa opened in 2017. Owned by the Porch Band of Creek Indians, this is a 520-acre entertainment complex. It originally opened with a series of shops, restaurants, and an amusement park. Originally, the amusement park was known simply as the Park at Owa, but this name was always meant to be a placeholder. In 2022, the park was rebranded as Tropic Falls to coincide with the opening of the region's largest indoor water park. That water park has become the most popular thing at this resort. Owa is located in Foley, Alabama. This is just minutes away from Gulf Shores, which is a popular vacation destination. Most visitors will arrive by car, so you conveniently will find a large free parking lot. This offers a grand view overlooking everything this complex has to offer, and there's even an on-site hotel for maximum convenience. Everyone is routed through the shopping area. This looks quite nice with the brick buildings and the flashy signs. There's a nice variety of shops and dining options. Then all this runs alongside a stream, which is fitting because Owa translates to big water. This is complete with nightly fountain shows, synchronized to music. But for the sake of this review, I am going to focus on Tropic Falls. Currently, this park operates as a pay-one price park. In the past, they have offered free non-rider passes, but those are currently not available. Right now, you can either pay $30 for just the amusement park, or $50 to $70 for both the amusement park and water park. For the latter, you will save money if you visit during the off-peak periods and/or buy your tickets days in advance. Once inside, you have this beautiful fountain with a rock bearing the park's name. Then the Rollin' Thunder roller coaster serves as the amusement park's focal point. It runs down the middle of the park, and it is accentuated by some additional pools and fountains. It is rare to have a coaster as a park centerpiece, but it works well. You have so much kinetic energy whenever it cycles. The right midway leads to the kiddie rides. The left midway leads to the adult rides and the water park. This is a simple layout, so it is easy to find everything, and you can cut underneath the roller coaster at a few points to cross between sides for convenience. Most of the rides are unthemed, but they each look nice with vibrant paint schemes, and a few have flashy lighting packages at night. Zamperla is usually good at that. The one con with the amusement park aesthetically is a general lack of shade. It felt like an oven walking down the midway on a summer day. There are a few smaller shade structures, but the best place to take refuge is Mystic Mansion. This shooting dark ride is glorious AC. That is also the only indoor ride at this time. That is important to note. Due to this area's extreme humidity, it is susceptible to thunderstorms for a large chunk of the year. If a storm rolls through, this is the only amusement ride that can still operate. I would love if this park could add another indoor ride or two in the future. Nothing too crazy, but even something like a carousel or dodgem would really help. To the park's defense, most guests purchase the combo pass, so most guests can wait out a storm in the indoor water park. Heck, most guests are in there anyway, even if it's perfect weather. The indoor section looks great. It perfectly captures the tropical aesthetic. There's one major tower with colorful slides. A few of them plunge into an underground rocky cavern, which is such a neat visual. I also love how bright this water park is. There are these giant glass windows that let in plenty of natural light, and this place has a glass retractable roof, so if you visit on a clear day, you can feel the natural sunlight. At night, this park has some multicolored spotlights giving a party-like vibe. There also is an outdoor section with a large wave pool and a flow rider, which complements the indoor offerings nicely. Also helping the overall atmosphere is the general demeanor of the staff. Everyone I interacted with was friendly and hospitable. This park is typically open from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. If you visit during the summer months, it is usually open until at least 8 p.m. on the weekdays and 10 p.m. on the weekends. I believe this park is open most of the year. It may just close for a few weeks in the winter, and it'll be weekends only during the quieter periods. Because of the shopping center and indoor water park's popularity, this is a rare theme park that does not close early on stormy days. I visited on a day with a massive thunderstorm that closed the amusement rides for several hours, but they did reopen during the final hour, even though I was one of only a few guests still on the dry side. Operations across the board were good. On the amusement side, every ride was staffed and crews wasted no time loading rides, even if you were the only guest on board. From what I understand, the amusement rides typically have low waits. Most rides were complete walk-ons for me. The longest queue I saw was maybe 5 to 10 minutes for the spinning wild mouse, and I visited on a holiday weekend no less. The water park had longer queues, but they were still manageable. The tube slides hovered around a 15 to 20 minute wait midday. The body slides and mat racer were often walk-ons. It was just awkward accessing them. This is one of those parks where there's a single staircase accessing multiple water slides. I hate when parks do this, so you often need to squeeze past all these people in inner tubes. This is not particularly pleasant, but at least most people understand. Assuming the weather is clear and the water park is a priority, I would probably start with that. I would probably recommend starting with the tube slides. That way, you can get a few laps before the lines build up. I personally chose to start with the amusement park though, due to the risk of storms. I would have preferred to wait longer for some of the water slides rather than missing out on a dry ride entirely. Then ride availability was great. I think there was just one smaller flat ride down for unplanned maintenance. If you are looking for a specific ride, this park lists the current ride closures near the hours on the park website. Now let's run through the ride lineup. If you have visited Luna Park and Coney Island, this park's lineup will feel very similar. Both parks have 90 to 95% of their rides from Zamperla. Picture the main flat ride area of Luna Park with Thunderbolt, and you essentially have Tropic Falls. Several rides are identical or nearly identical, so unless you hear me state otherwise, the rides mentioned are from Zamperla. This will avoid redundancy. Tropic Falls currently has 3 roller coasters. The largest is easily Rollin' Thunder. This is the tallest, fastest, and longest steel coaster in Alabama by a wide margin, and I think it's the state's most intense roller coaster. This is the second Thunderbolt coaster, opening 3 years after the prototype in Coney Island. This one has redesigned trains. I do prefer the over-the-shoulder restraints to the shoulder straps, but this one still has the awkwardly blocky lap bars, rock-hard seats, and jittery tracking. The entry into the zero-G roll is a particularly brutal pothole. Fortunately, the restraints are such that you will likely not hit your head. You'll just shake side to side. If you can look past the imperfect trains, this ride has a phenomenal layout. It is a powerhouse. It offers strong ejector airtime, 4 wildly forceful inversions, and quick pacing. If you have a high tolerance for roughness, you will absolutely love this ride. Crazy Mouse is the family coaster. This is a spinning wild mouse. This one's not as fast as some other installations, but the drops still have some zip, and the spin in the second half is still quite dizzying. This version also has much smoother braking than other installations. Southern Express is the final coaster. This is a kiddie coaster. It is quite smooth, minus a slam into the lift hill. Kids seem to really enjoy this one, and if you're an adult seeking the credit, yes, you can ride this one. The rest of the kiddie area has a nice mix of rides. Some are exclusively for kids. Others, such as Tea Time and Sky Balloons, can comfortably accommodate an adult. And adults who love spinning can go absolutely nuts on these rides. The rest of the flat ride lineup is fine. I will just caution those with weak stomachs. A lot of the rides here invert or spin quickly, which can get quite nauseating when combined with the heat. There are 3 I want to highlight. Twister is an inverting frisbee. This one has excellent hang time in the slow revolutions and solid G's on the downswings. Air Racer is an air race. This one does a good job with varying the speeds, so you'll get a blend of slower flips with hang time and some faster ones that are more disorienting. Wave Rider is a disco coaster. This one offers some fun spins as you are pulled over the hump, and a smidge of weightlessness on the spikes. The final amusement ride of note is Mystic Mansion. This is a shooting dark ride from Sally. It is a next generation version of their popular Boo Blasters rides. A lot of the targets in the first half were unfortunately broken, but a majority in the second half did work. I like how there are some larger practical sets, and a lot of the targets reacted in some way, and this ride appears to have a win-lose condition at the end, depending upon which targets you hit on Boostifer. What does the amusement side need going forwards? I would love a signature coaster, something specifically that is unique to this park. Given how this park sort of has a classic boardwalk vibe to it, I would love a large wooden coaster running along the perimeter. That is especially true because the nearby Waterville, USA lost their wood coaster a few years ago. I would also love to see some taller flats that offer a great view. This would include rides like a drop tower or a Ferris wheel. I would say Starflyer, but the park used to have one. It has since been dismantled, and it is unclear if it will return. The other major gap is the lack of a water ride. Granted, a lot of guests utilize that water park, but it would be nice to have something for those who don't want to pay for that water park, or to enjoy in your dry clothes. I think something like a Flume or a River Rapids ride would be quite popular given the climate. Having said that, I do think the next investment will go to the water park. That is the major moneymaker. I believe all the slides here are provided by ProSlide. All of these are indoors. Running through them, there are two extreme body slides. Piranha Plunge is a trapdoor slide. Waiting for the floor to fall out is pulse pounding. Then the drop is a rush. That is followed by a fast and forceful turn. Tangerine Scream goes straight down. With a strong push, you can lift off the slide a little, and I love how the pullout zips into that aforementioned underground cave. The last adult body slide is Serpentine Swirl. This is not nearly as wild as the prior two. The slide starts slow, but the final two turns eventually have decent sway, and it is worth noting all three of these body slides are smooth on your back. Then there are two tube slides. Forbidden Falls is a mini funnel slide. Most of the course is tame, but the drop into that funnel is shockingly steep, so it offers a decent pop of airtime. Then that funnel is quite turbulent, throwing you back and forth. Citrus Cyclone is a series of saucer turns. While there are no notable drops or positive G-heavy turns, this slide maintains a nice pace the whole way down. The final major slide is Aqua Chaser. This mat slide offers good G's in the initial spiral, and the visual of diving into the cave at the end is exciting, especially when paired with that racing element. Kids will find some smaller slides on Tuki's Tower, in addition to an assortment of water sprayers and a massive dump bucket. Then there also is the relaxing Castaway Creek Lazy River. This circles around a large chunk of the indoor water park. If weather allows, the outdoor section features the huge Big Water Bay wave pool. The waves are fun anyway, but this one is extra special because there is a giant TV screen at the end. This can play music videos or major sporting events, such as the World Cup when I visited, so it is a great place to relax. Then there also is the Coastal Curl Flow Rider. This is included with water park admission, which is not always true with the other parks out there. I am terrible at these, but some people love doing stunts and tricks. What would I like to see added to the water park? The number one thing for me is easily a water coaster. That is especially true because you cannot find that at the state's other water parks. It'll be interesting if a water park edition went to the indoor section, or if they chose to build an outdoor tower. Beyond the rides and slides, what else does this park have? There's a small gift shop by the main entrance, and a handful of carnival games in one section. You will not find any shows though. This is another area the park can improve upon, especially if it's an indoor venue. Then this park has some quick service eateries. Although a lot of guests chose to eat at the restaurants in the shopping area, and some like myself will drive 5 minutes down the road to visit Lambert's. If you are unfamiliar with that place, they have delicious food, massive portions, and they literally chuck dinner rolls at you if you raise your hand. I did try a meal late in the day at Tropic Falls though. The chicken tenders were solid, the fries were great, and the pretzel bites were addictive with all the melted butter. I thought prices were fair for an amusement park. I imagine the competition in the nearby restaurants keeps prices from getting completely out of control. How much time is needed here? That depends entirely on your interests. If you only care about the roller coasters, you probably need 1 hour max, maybe 2 if you want a bunch of re-rides. If you only visit the amusement park, I think you only need a few hours, especially with the regularly short waits. If you add in the water park, this place is a half-day park at minimum, and probably closer to a full day. And keep in mind, the shopping area is frequently open after the park closes, so there's no shortage of things to do. Do I recommend Tropic Falls? Yes, I do, especially if you enjoy water parks. Owa is a massive complex with a lot to offer. That indoor water park is a blast in between the attraction lineup and the atmosphere. The amusement park is decent. It feels like a Zamperla showroom, but it does have some enjoyable rides. Considering their last investment on the amusement side was not from Zamperla, I am curious to see where they go next. Definitely keep an eye on this park. Based on the cost of the indoor water park, they are not afraid to spend cash. I would love to see this park get that big signature coaster. If you are purely looking for roller coasters, there probably are other parks you should prioritize over this one at this time. That is especially true if you've already ridden the Clone of Rollin' Thunder at Coney Island. This was one of the last major theme parks for me to visit in the United States. It took a while because of the location. It is not the most convenient park to tack onto a coaster road trip, but this paired nicely with the Atlanta parks and Wild Adventures for me. But if you're a local to the area, or vacationing in Gulf Shores, I think this place is definitely a great option. Those are my thoughts on Tropic Falls, the best amusement park in Alabama. What are your thoughts on this park? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed this review, I would appreciate it if you gave this video a like, and you consider subscribing, because there'll be a lot more roller coaster and amusement park videos here at Canopy Coaster. Thanks for watching.